FM here in Accra. We're streaming live on Facebook as well, so you can join our Facebook live stream. And I mentioned that the president and the founder of the Afro-Arab Group is here in the studio, and we're speaking to him on the occasion of International Youth Day. Ambassador Alhaji Salamu Amadu. Good morning to you.
Good morning, my senior man, Chief Lantam.
You're welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing today?
You can say pretty good. Today is a special day for the youth, and as a youth ambassador, I said I'm going to give all the day for the youth, for youth advocacy.
Everything about the youth.
Everything.
You are giving all your time for advocacy for the youth.
No office today.
No office today.
Yes.
Everything is for the youth.
Yes.
You know. And what would you say on a day like this, when you think about the youth of this country, what would you say is the plight of the youth of this country? Is there a lot of youth complain about, a lot of things that are not going on well for them in the system, if I can put it that way. People complain about unemployment, struggling to make ends meet, and a host of other things. From where you sit, what is the outlook for the youth looking like?
Okay, thank you very much for giving me this platform to talk on behalf of the youth in Ghana. First, the International Youth Day serves as a platform to celebrate young people, their achievements, their concern, and advocacy for change. Yes, I agree with you. There are a lot of challenges, but first of all, we need to celebrate at least the good ones that are doing well in this country. There are a lot of young people who are doing fantastic well, and then we should not be only concentrating about our problems. We need to celebrate them for them to be motivated to do more, and other people will also look upon them. I can tell you, from entrepreneurship, from entertainment, and all sectors of life, there are youth in this country that are doing amazing well. For example, there is a blogger, Kobiche, is doing fantastic. The work that he's doing, is positive. He is doing blogging on a different level. And today I would like to celebrate him. I don't want to concentrate about our problems alone. From where I come from, the Zongo community as well, there are a lot of people who are changing the world out there. We have one of our chief called Abbas Serki, Giwa. People look at Zongo people like doing sort of a lot of land guard and all things. These people have changed the scenario today to real estate development. Instead of coming to be taking care of people's land, they buy the land and they build their houses and then to be selling. So I think it's positive out there. The youth should not, lose hope. They should trust in themselves and then to stay focused. And it's true, there are a lot of unemployment in this country, and then it's a very big problem. But I want to be talking about positive things. The youth should stay focused, not to depend on, let me put it in this context, like government. Most of the time, we put all our hope on government, and we get disappointed. So I think the youth should be, control of their own destiny than putting their destiny in the hands of our leaders. Yes, we can't do without them, but we should also make sure that we contribute in the development of this nation.
Contribute to the development of the nation.
Yes.
And you've talked about some of the positive stories of the youth and some of the things that the youth are doing, which we need to highlight, right? So in contributing to the development of the nation, what should the youth be looking at doing?
Okay, first of all, I would talk about jobs, as you started. Entrepreneurship is the way to go. People should create jobs for themselves. Thank God we are in Ghana and we are in Africa. There are a lot of problems. And where there are problems, there are opportunities. The youth should focus on creating their own jobs. When you look at this country, a lot of young people want to make money fast. But the easiest way to make money is to create your own job. Sometimes we look at getting employment and all that. Yes, you may be getting some chop money and all that, but when you create your own business, that is the way to go. I will admit it's not easy for young people in this country, in a country where interest rate is over 30%, and there are no any kind of option to raise funding to do business, even though there are opportunities all around. But it's very, very difficult for us. In as much as we are into this situation, we don't have to give up. Everybody must have a dream, and then you must focus on the dream.
So how should the young people position themselves to be able to identify problems within society, problems that exist, that they can capitalize on to effect, a positive change?
Like I said, for me, sitting down here, let me take myself as an example. I am an entrepreneur, a businessman, and a philanthropist. I for some years, I look at a problem that I can be able to solve. One of them is housing. There are a lot of opportunity in housing in this country because we have over 1.8 million housing deficit in this country, and most are the low income and middle income earners that cannot be able to acquire properties or sometimes even rent houses. So for me, I am focused on solving or reducing the housing deficit that we have here.
So that's a very peculiar problem.
It's a very
that we
huge
have,
problem. Yes.
In this country.
In this
There's a
country.
housing deficit.
Yes.
So one of the ways that you have
my focus
tried is to try and solve that problem, right?
I don't know anything about stock market. I don't know anything about crypto, but I understand real estate, and every day I go for real estate.
Right. So you were able to identify this
Yes.
and get into it. So what can young people who are listening to you today learn from your journey? How you were able to identify there's a housing deficit. You want to contribute to reducing the housing deficit, and so you got into real estate. How did you get there?
Okay, I get there because I'm focused and because I know it's a problem. Young people should identify a problem that they will solve. That problem will take them to wherever they want to be. For example, I am focused on affordable housing because in this country, according to GIZ, a research that they did, only 1% of Ghanaians are qualified for mortgage. Even at that, look at how much interest rate they are paying.
Right.
If it's in cedis, it's 35% and above for a mortgage. If it's in dollar, it's above 10 to 15%. So I saw that there is a huge opportunity there. At Afro-Arab, we do it. You buy the house, you pay a certain percentage, and then the remaining balance, we spread it for you for some couple of years to pay without interest. And the good news is, if you are a Ghanaian working in Ghana, you can pay in cedis. At the end of the day, you will not be scared of the depreciation of cedi and all that. So this is a very huge problem that when we focus, we can be able to solve. And again, as you asked about how the youth can be also go into this kind of businesses and solve their problem, everybody has his own destiny. Maybe you sitting down here as a journalist, you are focused on this, your work. When you look at it as a problem, there may be problem with it. Come up with innovative ideas on how you are going to solve this problem, and then you're good to go. I spoke about Kobiche. There are a lot of bloggers. They say all sorts of things. What does he do? He goes to communities and look at problems that is associated with people and then come up with solutions for them. There are a lot of people who have talent. For example, we have footballers, but they are not focused on what they want to do. They are not certain. Everybody has something in him. So the youth out there, I am telling them today they have something in them. They should talk to themselves and see what they are good into and then focus on that and focus on problem solving. If the youth of this country, we all come together and agree that we have problem, we are not again putting all our hopes on our leaders, but let's pick one problem after the other and solve it. This country will be a better place, and they will create a lot of employment. Because for me, from my side, the work that I'm doing, I'm employing a lot of youth.
Right.
And if you are also created something, equally you will employ a lot of people together. I spoke about Abba Sarki converting Langard to become one of the biggest and upcoming real estate developer in this country. A lot of youth are following up his steps. I have one young man too in the community called By 11. It's also into that. So these are the concepts and the direction that the youth are going today.
So your focus is on entrepreneurship, and you believe that the youth can make something for themselves and of themselves through entrepreneurship by identifying problems within the community and solving those problems. You took the real estate route. What do you say to the young person out there who says, okay, I want to get into real estate, but how do I get into it? I mean, where do I get money from to start buying land and start developing the land? I mean, where am I going to get access to financing to be able to, enter into real estate, to start also contributing to building affordable housing and solving that problem in the community? That is one of the problems that a lot of the young people will complain about, access to capital to be able to start something, to even be an entrepreneur.
Thank you very much. They say Rome is not built in a day. Mm-hmm. Real estate is huge. It's not by only building houses alone. You can come up with your idea on how you can sell other people's houses. You can start with that. I can tell you, getting capital in this country is not an easy thing.
Very difficult.
It can never be easy.
Yeah.
But you can start small.
Mm-hmm.
There is one young man who started with just quarter of a plot. He built a house, sold it.
But even getting that quarter
so
of
that
a
is
plot,
what I'm saying. I said
difficult.
You can start
the average
as
young person, who
that
wants
is
to get
why
into
I
it.
said
Yeah.
you can start as an agent. You can be selling other people's houses for a commission. Mm-hmm. That is where to start with. Right. If you want to enter into the real estate and you don't have any means, you don't have any capital, you don't have any investor, it's easy. Now social media has made things very easy. People are selling houses, they are trying to sell their houses. You can come in and start helping them to be selling their houses. You can become an agent between our chiefs or landowners and then developers for you to be also making your commission. When you make something small, then you can also start it small. Not even one plot. You can get a quarter plot and you also start developing. When the good thing about real estate is if you have been able to build one house and sell, you can build two houses the next time you are going to build. So you can start as an agent by getting people to be renting houses or selling land and all that from there. Because I will be honest with you, if you said you are going into the deep real estate, it's not an easy thing.
Yeah.
It's not a venture for poor people to. You need to put up your mind there. Real estate is not a joke. It's not for the. It's not for
it's
kids.
Not for the
faint-hearted. No.
It's not for the faint-hearted.
Because it's very capital intensive.
Yeah. Very capital intensive.
Yes.
How have you been able to make it?
Okay, like I tell you, we start.
You said you've been focused, right?
Focused.
Very. But
focused.
are there any? How do I describe it? Trade secrets that you can, or nuggets of wisdom that you can give to,
in every
the young people out there,
in every business,
following your story. Because first you mentioned that you were focused, right? So what else? What are some of the other?
So in every business there is a secret. You need to have one or two things, and you know how to play the game. And as a youth ambassador, I'm open for the youth.
Okay.
If anybody wants to, get some mentorship or the guidelines or all things, it's open. They can come to me. My big man here is called Era Money. He is in school, but he wants to go for an internship.
Right.
When they gave him the letter straight, he came to me and they said, Alhaji, I want to learn from you. And you can see I am with him today.
Yes. So you are mentoring. You are mentoring the youth as well.
Yes, and then Era is telling me he has wasted a lot of time. The things that he's learning, it's not easy. And then we are concentrating on land, real estate.
Right.
And as I'm talking to you now, the deals this young man is bringing is amazing. He's in Nigeria with Shatta Bundle, but he made a lot of appointments. I have to fly him back so that we will be attending.
Era money. He's bringing in money.
He's bringing money.
A young man who's bringing in money. No wonder the whole studio is,
it's smelling money.
Money everywhere.
And we have our big man, which is Shatta Bundle.
Yeah.
He is the one taking care of us, so we will never go broke. We have God and we have Shatta Bundle, so we are not going broke.
That's right. That's right. So What about the other youth, who may not necessarily want to go into real estate? You've talked about identifying a problem and trying to solve the problem. So, what about the other youth who may not necessarily be interested in doing real estate, but are interested in, doing something else?
So that is
what message do you have?
That is why I said find a problem. You see, recently on social
so how
media,
do they go about
I'm
it,
coming on social media. You see these young people called bus stop boys.
Yes.
This is it. They have identified the problem, and then they are solving it. And I watch them. They are going to become big in this country, inshallah. So that is it. Identify it. There are problems all over. For example, our youth today, drugs is killing them. Somebody can come up with an idea on how to be able to solve this issue. When you go to our communities, you see a lot of waste on the streets. A youth can also come up with an idea, innovative idea on how to solve this problem. So for the youth out there, find a problem and then get an innovation solution to the problem, and then you start making it.
So from where you sit as a youth advocate, a youth ambassador, and you look at this country that we live in, of course, there needs to be a certain, politicians will say, enabling environment, for people to be able to do the things that they want to do to also help the country. So from where you sit, would you say that there are enough, policies to guide the Ghanaian youth to success?
This is a huge question. The fundamental of every policy is the economy. Our leaders are bringing amazing policies, but where I stand, I don't want to go into politics or that.
Yeah.
But where I stand, the economic must be very strong for any policy to work. It's just like people having ideas. It's not easy to make the idea materialize.
Yeah.
So the fundamentals of every policy or policies is the economy. If the economy is not good, those policies cannot work.
So would you're advocating for our leaders to give us a strong economy?
That is what we are thinking of. This 2024 election, the youth are going to come out there based on the economy. So I want both political leaders to be telling the youth what they are going to do about the economy. Policies, we have here a lot of policies. They are good. But at the end of the day, the sustainability of those policies is on the economy.
And if the economy is not good?
Then I think we are not going anywhere.
You're still listening to Starr 103.5 FM. This is the Morning Star, and it's also live on Empire 102.7 FM in Takrady. And my guest in the studio today is a youth ambassador, and he says he's dedicating the entire day today to the youth. He's not going to the office. Everything is going to be about the youth because today is International Youth Day. Ambassador Alhaji Salamu Amadu is the guest I've been speaking to in the studio. And one of the things that he has been touching on is the fact that the youth can do much more than they are doing now. There is room for the youth to be entrepreneurs and to solve problems within society. And we shouldn't be focusing too much, on the problems. When we talk about the problems of the country, Ambassador, it looks like every young person wants to leave the country for greener pastures elsewhere. Everybody wants to jakpa, as they would want to put it. Is it that it is impossible to stay in the country and make it from where you sit?
First of all, let's talk about young people living in the country.
Yes.
It's very scary. No serious country can be built without the youth.
Yeah.
It's impossible. But this is where we find ourselves in. Coming from a Zongo community, I know how much people spend to get to US, to get to Canada for survival.
Paying huge sums of money to connection.
It's huge sum of money and all that. And
yeah.
then people selling property, people borrowing money and all that. I do my best to talk to them that it's possible, it can be done, you can make it here. But at the end of the day, we got tired. because the youth don't have hope in the system. So personally sitting here, if I also have the opportunity, I can push them for them to go to survive, because there they get good jobs, they get good money, and then they send it out here to their parents and all that. So it's a huge problem, and we can't build Ghana without the youth.
Why are the youth? Why in your estimation do you think that the youth, everybody wants to go out there?
Because the economy is not good.
Back to the economy.
It's not good. I'll be frank with you. There are a lot of problems, and then one of the key problem is the economy. If the economy is good, people will stay in their country. When you look at African countries that their economies are good, they are not leaving their country. They will stay there, and then they will get. And it's not like there are not opportunities here also. Ghana is a special country. We have everything here, but the breakthrough, that is also the matter. How you can survive your business here is another thing. So I don't blame them. I cannot blame people leaving, but our leaders to sit up and then get an enabling environment for us to be able to enjoy this country called Ghana.
And what would you say to the youth who, at all cost, they believe that the grass is greener on the other side, so they have to jack back?
It's a mindset. For me, I cannot stay there. I believe I can be able to solve a problem here. And I don't, like I've been telling you, I don't blame anyone. Everybody has his plan, and everybody wants to, put food on the table. That is why people are leaving. And some people also leave, and then at the end of the day, they come back with some amazing things. You understand? They go there, they learn a lot of things, and then they come back and develop their countries. But it's not good for us, especially if it involves the youth living this country. If we don't take care, we'll end up at the end of the day not having the youth, the right people to move this country to the next level.
If we don't take care?
Yes. We need to look at it. Our leaders have to put their eye, they have to, get closer to the youth and let them understand. Last year, we celebrated International Youth Day for the Zongo communities.
Yeah.
This year, I wanted to do something like that, huge. I wanted my two uncles, His Excellency, the former President John Dramani Mahama, to come, not to debate, and with our current Vice President to tell the youth what they have for us. But it's unfortunate I couldn't get them. That is why we are not celebrating it as we did last year. Yes, but I wanted them.
You wanted them to come,
so that
the youth can actually...
I don't believe in debate.
Yeah.
I want them to be closer to the youth, to tell the youth. You know, sometimes if you make yourself available to the youth, you can hear a lot of things. There are some fantastic youth out there that can bring some ideas that can even help you to rule the country. But it's unfortunately, for one or two reasons, that couldn't happen.
Well, but it can still push and make it happen.
Oh no, that is what we are doing now. We'll send the message out there.
Yeah.
And then the social media today is very powerful. Whatever message you put out there, it will get to the destination.
And so on International Youth Day, which is today, can you run us through some of the things that you've got planned for today?
For today, aside this interview,
Yes.
I also have a TV interview downstairs
Later on.
here,
Yes,
with
yes.
GH1 here,
Yes.
and then some other TV stations. I'm going back to my community to make sure that I've engaged with a lot of youths. We have Okada boys who are around there, talk to them, to interact with them, go to the youths, go to my ghettos, and then, share some times with them.
So let's talk about, the Afro-Arab story. Afro-Arab. Let's now get into the Afro-Arab, proper.
Well, Afro-Arab, with a humble start 17 years ago. And I can say, Alhamdulillah, it's a hope for the Ghanaian youth, especially the people from the Zongo community. Building a brand like Afro-Arab is not an easy thing. And I can tell you every day it's a blessing, and we are still learning. We are still learning. I see it as a blessing and a lesson at the same time, because doing business in Ghana is not easy at all. And then the brand is getting big. Inshallah, it's a household not only in Ghana, in Africa, everywhere. Afro-Arab is known now, so we are pushing it there to motivate other young people. I get a lot of messages via social media.
Right.
Oh, we are proud of you. You are doing well. You are our hope and all that. That one alone, you should know that you are doing better, and it keeps pushing me, especially when youth are involved and they are giving you all these motivations.
So how did the Afro-Arab start?
Afro-Arab started, like I said, 17 years ago with import and export of metal, scraps, and agriculture produce. And Alhamdulillah, it gives birth with a lot of subsidiaries, like the Afro-Arab Microfinance, which has been there for over 13 years now, and then the Afro-Arab Real Estate and Construction. And that is where all my concentration is now. We do a lot of things to make sure that we make poverty a history in this country, to solve the housing challenge. Housing plays a very huge role in our daily lives. It's a fundamental human right. Therefore, we have to get an innovative solution by solving these challenges to make Ghanaians also buy a home. So at Afro-Arab, everybody can buy a house. Just talk to us. We'll find a way of...
So I can come and buy a house
Oh,
from
no,
Afro-Arab.
you can buy.
It's
We are very flexible.
very flexible.
Very,
How much will it cost for me to
very,
buy
you just
a
come,
house
you
from
just tell us
Afro-Arab?
it's your budget, how much you are earning, and then we will design something for you.
Is that so?
Inshallah. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So what would you say has been, one of the main, should I say, success stories?
Oh,
One of the main achievements. Of
First
course,
of
you've
all-
mentioned quite a
okay,
number of them. But
okay.
what are some of the main achievements
First
of the
of all,
Afro-Arab?
I don't take glories.
Yeah.
I give glory to Almighty Allah, because I believe wherever I am, it's Allah who takes me here. And then there are a lot of success stories. But one is in 2019, when the financial cleanup is happening. Afro-Arab has been able to survive that cleanup. And then I meet a lot of people and they tell me that, Alhaji, we are really proud of you. A young man from Zongo to be able to survive a microfinance you have done. And still, there are a lot of challenges, and then we are pushing on bit by bit. But I can tell you that this is good. Over 200 and something microfinance licenses has been revoked, and Afro-Arab is still operating. So
Yeah.
you can say it as a success.
So what do you see for the future as far as Afro-Arab is concerned?
Also, I will be honest with you. The future is promising. The future of this country is going to be the youth. So that's why I said our leaders should make sure that they make the environment enabling for us. Especially, my problem is with the economy. Then we can be able to stay home and help them to build this nation together. There are a lot of problems, I will admit that, but we need to concentrate on youth development. Nothing at all aside the entrepreneurship we talk about. Let's talk about skills, how we can acquire skills for this young man, because the education we need is more outside the classroom than in the classroom. A lot of youth outside there are going wayward, especially with drugs. Drugs is killing our youth. Aside youth leaving this country, drugs is one of the key things that is killing the future of the youth of Ghana. I want people to concentrate. As an ambassador, in my own small way, we try to talk to them. Sometimes I even take some people to the rehab, which is very, very expensive. You understand me? So it's not something that we can carry on our head alone. But if our leaders also stepped in, we can be able to solve a lot of these problems, because everybody knows where these people are. the people who are selling this substance to these young people are. But you see, if I come out and I say that I'm an ambassador, I'm going to face these people, I'm not going to get it easy.
Right.
So we need our leaders to come on board to develop this country called Ghana together. And there is one thing I also want to talk about that is a problem for the Zongo people, especially the youth. There is a lot of discrimination in this country. On the 2nd of August, I was returning from Canada. When I got to the airport, an immigration officer, a lady, took my passport. She looked at it and she speak Twi to me. I'm not good in Twi.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? She told me, then you are not a Ghanaian. So I look at her.
What kind of nonsense is that?
Yes, that is what she told me, and this is not my own experience.
Your own experience.
I don't want to talk about the complaints I'm getting out there. So I asked her, because I don't speak Twi, I'm not a Ghanaian, can you speak my language? And she asked me, what language do you speak? I said, I am Hausa and Dogomba. Can you speak Dogomba? And then the girl was looking at me. And the other immigration officer who is serving another person is shaking his head. So we don't need this in Ghana. If we want to build Ghana, let's
discrimination,
come together. The only thing I told
should
her
be stamped out.
This country is for me and you. And what scares me is it's coming from people in uniform. Some of them, I would say, they act unprofessional. The same thing happens to me when I was going to Bunu East to do some work. A policeman stopped me, and then he starts speaking Twi. I don't understand Twi. So I don't know if now you try and see if you can get some Asante Kremo lady for me so that I can,
so that I can start
I can learn, yeah, because it's a problem. If you don't speak Twi in this country, you are not Ghanaian.
But that is not
when
right.
the police noticed right. I can't speak Twi, immediately he said we are not Ghanaians. Come and see how they search us. Serious searching.
So then, I mean, I guess you are on the crusade and an advocacy for this kind of discrimination.
No. I must, because
stop.
you see where we come from, a lot of people don't have opportunity like this to talk, to voice out, for people to know what we are facing. And that is why a youth ambassador needs to lead this crusade. So the policeman, after the search, he didn't see anything. Then he left and went and said, he said, we can go. So I drove to him and I said, I am very disappointed. And you know why? Because you are in uniform.
Yeah.
This kind of
shouldn't
things.
be discriminating.
You understand
things,
me? Yes. Yeah. And most of the time we talk about these white people, they don't like us, but it's from our backyard.
Yeah.
You and we talk about racism and all that.
And
no.
stereotyping.
It starts at home.
Yeah.
Ghana is off for all of us. Let's come together and develop it. And there are some amazing people too out there that they don't care about all these things, but these are some problems I think it should go out there.
All right. So elections are coming, right? And what's your advice to the youth, relative to avoiding trouble, during these elections, according to, also voting their conscience and all of that? What message do you have, for the youth out there as elections are coming?
I will be honest with you.
Yes.
Today, the youth have learned a lot from past experiences, because we used to have a lot of hope in our leaders. Now everybody is concentrating on how he will bring food on the table.
Yeah.
You can see campaign has started here and there, but just look at the terrain and see most youth are concentrating on their work and their businesses. We are just waiting for 7th December, then we'll go and vote to change our destiny. You understand me? To look at the direction in which Ghana will go.
Are you advocating for change?
For sure, change is coming, because at the end of the day, the government of His Excellency President Nana Akufo-Addo will end very soon, and we are going to get a new president.
Right. So change will definitely come.
Either way. And I don't know where you are trying to put me. But
I'm
we are
just
going
asking
to
a
get,
question.
okay, let me put it here. We
Yes.
are going to get a new president.
Yes.
So that is a change. Or it's not a change?
It is a change.
It's a change.
Yes, it's a change.
It's a change.
So back to what you tell the youth about
Yeah.
how to conduct themselves during these elections.
Yes.
And all of that.
We should stay focused. Let's focus on our work. We have seen elections here and there, and then at the end of the day, we are used to it. So we wait for 7th December, and we'll go and cast our vote.
All right.
To get a new president.
So what will be your final words, your final message,
Okay,
to every young person listening?
My final
as we're wrapping
words
this up?
before we wrap up, I want our leaders to take the youth of this country serious. For some weeks now, you can see a lot is happening in our neighboring country called Nigeria. Food is the most cheapest thing in Nigeria, but yet people are going on hunger demonstration. So, my brother, Mr. Lantam, you get to understand what I want to talk about. Food is the most cheapest. You can't compare food in Nigeria and Ghana. Ghana is very, very expensive than Nigeria. Yet, Nigerians are going on hunger demonstration. You know what that means. And President Ahmed Tinubu is only 1 year and some few months. And look at how Nigerians are suffering. Food. What they are complaining about is food. But when you go to Nigeria today, food is the most cheapest thing in Nigeria. Food is very expensive in Ghana here than in Nigeria. Our leaders should not take us for granted. They should make sure that we have an enable environment. The economy should boom so that everybody will be happy and stay at home. And for the youth, they should stay focused. Ghana is a special country, and inshallah we will get there.
Inshallah,
Yeah.
we will get there.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Okay.
Alhaji,
Thank you
for joining us in the
Okay,
studio.
Thank you for having me.
Ambassador Alhaji Salamu Amadu is the president and founder of the Afro-Arab Group, joining us in the studio today on the occasion of International Youth Day. We're grateful that he joined us here. All the best.
Okay.
We'll be coming for houses.
Thank you.
We'll be coming
Yeah,
for
well,
affordable
I'm already
houses.
booking one for you now. Okay. Bye.
Back to my roots.